Hey everyone, welcome to part 4 of my grand review. One of my favorite classes, Paladin. Let's start with the Argent Lance. So Paladin is a class which does not have any weapons at all. That's why this card is going to be amazing. Well, not. Paladin has so many weapons already, and I didn't even put Master for Battle in here, so 4 very competitive and also low-priced weapons. So I think Argent Lance is not going to see play just because of the sheer amount of weapons a Paladin already has in the decks. In Arena that card is quite alright, I think, but in competitive play it's slightly too weak. Next card in line is Competitive Spirit. Well, is the Competitive Spirit going to be competitive? In my opinion, it's very similar to Avenge. It's a little bit interesting that now the opponent will not know if you played Avenge or Competitive Spirit until he kills one of your minions. So if you have multiple minions out, like let's say you played Master for Battle and a Secret, it's very hard to guess if you played Avenge or if you played Competitive Spirit. In case of Competitive Spirit, you kind of want to kill all the 1/1s, and in case of Avenge, you kind of don't want to kill any of the 1/1s. So that's interesting, but I still think that this card is too weak because you cannot choose when it triggers. I'm not sure if it does go off when you don't have any minion. Maybe not, like very similar that Avenge doesn't go off, but it's the text says when your turn starts. Well, yeah, when your turn starts it's also kind of a little bit bad because you more or less want to have immediate value. So I think this is a little bit too weak. In Arena the card might be alright. But for competitive play, the secret 1-mana secrets are just too weak for competitive play, in my opinion. The next is Etrick the Pure. As a Paladin player, I'm really excited about this card. Not sure what it is, what the actual impact is going to be. Maybe it's too weak for the competitive scene because of the weak stats. You kind of have to imagine that you could play Dr. Boom instead. So the question is Etrick the Pure better than Dr. Boom? Well, it depends. If the opponent is like really far ahead on the board, let's say he's playing Druid and has a Druid of the Claw, Ancient of Lore, and maybe Sludge Belcher or something like that, or Shredder, then this guy is pure value. You just swept the board. But yeah, I would be willing to exchange my Dr. Boom against Etrick the Pure because Dr. Boom is my only Big Game Hunter target right now on my Paladin list. So yeah, why not try it? But yeah, it might be that this card is a little bit too weak. In Arena, I think he's going to be alright. But it's kind of like, it's really a comeback mechanism. Yeah. We'll see how strong it's actually gonna be. Next in line is Enter the Coliseum. Oh, I really like this card. This is gonna be very interesting. Paladin gets another board clear, so that's kind of pushing control Paladin a little bit more. So this is kind of the brawl for Paladin right now, but the good thing is that you will exactly know how the brawl is gonna end up. Because you of course see that what your highest attack minion is and what the opponent's highest attack minion is. So yeah, very interesting card. You can also very well combine that with Elder Peacekeeper in 2 ways. You can Elder Peacekeeper the strongest minion before you play Enter the Coliseum, and then Enter the Coliseum will kill the strongest minion, or you can use Elder Peacekeeper afterwards to make his board really weak because he has just 1 minion left over. So yeah, I think this card is going to see play in some decks. It will open up new possibilities to build control Paladin decks, and maybe in the late game you will win with pure token power or something like that. Interesting card. It's also very, very interesting against all the Patron warriors. Yeah, and it's kind of equality consecrate with just one card. I think this will see play. Next in line is the Murloc Knight. Oh, I really like the artwork of this card. This is the guy riding the frog. That's very beautiful. I like the idea. If you ever see the golden card, I really recommend watching the golden card. It's kind of very nice. This card can resummon itself with Inspire. That's very interesting. The only question is if summon a random Murloc is very good. I think summon a random Murloc can be regarded roughly as getting a 2/2. That is alright for 2 mana, and you get another 1/1 in Paladin. And sometimes you get the dream, you get the Murloc War Leader or some bigger stuff. Yeah. I guess this card is all right. The question is if Murlocs are good in Paladin. I'm not so sure about that. I think Murlocs are kind of made for Warlock. Or maybe, yeah, Shaman, because you have other Murloc cards in Shaman. Okay, now they're kind of trying to push Murloc Paladin a little bit. I think it will not see much play in the competitive scene, but yeah. In Arena, it's also not very interesting. Okay, Mysterious Challenger. Okay, I want to make this very, very clear. The effect of this card is going to be super bad. Because for that effect to trigger, you need to put actually the 1 mana secrets in your Paladin deck. And that's horrible. You don't want to do that. It's even more horrible that this card is so big that it's 6 mana. Of course, 6 mana, 6/6 is quite alright, but it's weaker than a Boulder Fist Ogre, and the Boulder Fist Ogre is already not seeing play, so the stats are kind of already, and the effect is super weak because you put in all the small secrets in your deck, and before turn 6, you will have drawn many of these stupid secrets, and you don't want to play these secrets. No, not at all. So the only thing this card is good at, for Mage to be summoned out of the unstable portal. Then the Mage gets super value by playing like 2 or 3 secrets at once. That is totally amazing for Mage. But this card is crap for Paladin. Don't play it. In Arena, well, it's a 6/6. In Arena, you might get 2 secrets on the battlefield or something, but yeah. I'm not really excited about this card. Seal of Champions. I think this card is quite alright. I guess I would prefer Blessing of Might most of the time over it, just because it's so much cheaper. But I agree that adding an additional Divine Shield is very, very good. This card is very interesting for aggro Paladin, maybe for more controlish, or no, more for more mid-range oriented aggro Paladin. And it has some nice synergy with 2 legendaries here, with Fiola and Adis. These guys love to get buffed, so Paladin is already the class with, I think, the most buffs. Maybe Priest can kind of compete with that, but Paladin and Priest are the dedicated classes to play Adis and Fiola. Unless you just want to buff them with spare parts, but I don't think that spare parts going to be a huge thing here. I think it's more when your class already has the buffs that you want to play these guys, and I think Seal of Champions is the right card for that. Also, of course, Blessing of Kings, Blessing of Might, Blessing of Wisdom, that kind of stuff. I think it will see play in the competitive scene. Don't know how good it will be. This card you could write straight away, just add into your aggro Paladin and see how it works or how it doesn't work. I think it's quite alright. Next card, Tusker Jouster. Oh my god! What an amazing card. It's a Tusker, it's a walrus riding a turtle. Wow, I love this. This artwork is the best in the complete expansion. I really like it. Amazing card. And the good thing is, the rest of the card is also super exciting. I really like it. 5/5 for 5 mana is very, very nice, and the jousting mechanic I also really like. So the jousting is going to get the value very likely against aggressive decks, where you really need that 7 health. And against control decks, you don't really need that 7 health. So I kind of really like this card, and I really like the design. So I would straight away exchange my anti-heal bot in my mid-range Paladin against this card and see how it works. I think it's gonna be a buff. Just because I hate playing an anti-heal bot against control decks. Like, against Control Warrior, you don't really want to see the anti-heal bot. It's so rare that it ever gives you any value. That means, like, he played Electrasa already or something like that, so... Tusker Jouster, yeah, I want this. Absolutely competitive. In Arena, it's also, I think, going to be alright, just because 5 mana, 5/5 is good. So, the last card in the line is the Warhorse Trainer. I think that card is also very interesting for aggro Paladin. Not 100% sure about it, but I think when you coin your Master for Battle on turn 2 and play this on turn 3, ooh, that's quite some value. So, and there's also this Silverhand Regent, which will give you even more recruits. So I think this really opens up a new mid-range Paladin deck full of just recruits. And of course you have the Quartermaster. I think that can really make up a very interesting deck. So I think this will see play in the competitive scene. In Arena, I think it's also quite alright, because 3 mana to 4 is already pretty good, and it buffs kind of your hero power. I really like it. This card is very nice. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please leave questions and critics in the comments as always, and please make sure to tell everybody about the challenge. We want more participants. Alright, bye bye. See you soon.